When the gun goes off and you all take off, there's something really epic about it, like that you can't like describe. Like, would you kind of agree?
Well, yeah, it's like a scene out of like, what's that movie? Not Gladiator, or maybe Gladiator,
where a bunch of people are just charging, and like literally a gun goes off, and we all just like take off.
Everybody just runs, and the idea of it, a gun going off, and everybody starts running, it kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
My name is Derek Schlager. I'm a sophomore.
My name is Evan Nelson. I am a sophomore intercultural studies major.
And I run cross country.
I run cross country. And I think as a team, another thing we've been trying to incorporate is just just trying to incorporate running into life. Like, life's hard, you know, and so sometimes running can be very painful too. And so how do you deal with those things?
You go out there and have a really tough, mile repeats at 5K pace or whatever pace and faster. It hurts a lot, and when you're out there running with a bunch of other guys going through the same thing, so then there's that sense of obligation, like, he's going, I got to go with him, and it's fun, and that'll kind of bring us closer together too as a cross-country team.
There's so many people at Northwestern that we see all the time just running, and we're like, why? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, why don't you do it with a bunch of people?
When goofy stuff happens, we all like to laugh a lot, and you can't just run and not talk the whole time. It's not even like you're talking too much, but there's kind of a special bond that forms.
All bonded together by pain.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird way to be brought together, but it's true.
It is true.
First thing that came to my mind, a word that would describe our team would be unique. We have engineers on the team, and then we have like psychologists, and then you're not biblical studies.
Intercultural studies.
That was a joke we had on the team.
Yeah.
And, we have people from everywhere, and everybody brings something kind of, like, special. And in such a small team, it's, like, exaggerated. Each person makes the team what it is.
I'm not the fastest guy on the team, and I don't spew out amazing times. But I just feel like it's something that God has given, like, something that God has given me. Like, I don't know, I guess I just said it before, it sounds kind of weird, but God gave me 2 legs, and it just it brings me joy, and I think that's joy that God wants us to experience. He designed us in a way that we can do those things, and there's tons of people that don't get that opportunity, and for us to be able to like cash in on it or whatever and be able to run is just really a blessing, and it's joyful. And
that success is, using big words, predicated on what has been entrusted. That's a quote from one of the runners for the U.S. Who's a Christian, but that's the point. Like, we're all given different things, and it's our job to do our best with those things we were given, and like, that's success, doing the best with what you have. So like, that's a huge part, I think, of our team, especially just in this last year, just knowing that we got to do our best, and to glorify God with that.
And honestly, it's kind of like a stress relief too sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll sometimes have a really bad day in class, I'll just be like, school stinks, and then you'll go out for a run, kind of let it out on the road, and everything's all good.
It clears your mind and lets you kind of focus and have like a perspective. Like, the world's still spinning, just because my world seems to be, going crazy. Like, it's all right. People talk about being outside and like seeing God in nature. Like, we have such a cool opportunity to do that when we go to fun places like Elm Creek and those parks with the trails. Just running through the woods is like, I don't know, you can really see like God's creation. Like, it's just blatantly obvious.
We run for God, and that's kind of our purpose.
It's kind of like we sing to worship and people dance to worship, and we get to show up and we get to run our hearts out and just kind of like pour it all out to God.